It's Late Night with Mad Manners. I'm your host. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Manners till midnight. I will be taking your calls. I am also still alive. I haven't been fucked to death by koalas. So stick it up your ass, Steve. But it's really good to see someone while we're all on lockdown. That's it. It's always sort of been there, the women's game, but it's been ignored. So fucking scared. I mean, look at Steve Robinson. Since he talked about his parents in the first episode, he basically lied since then because he's too afraid. He doesn't have the guts that Kirk has. Boom. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Manners Live. Happy Saturday night for those watching in the US. Of course, I'm coming to you from Sydney. It's summer here, beautiful 90 degrees. The sun's out. Cricket season has started. And anyway, great to be here with you all. Now, let's get into some taking care of business because quite a few things to talk about. But firstly, before Kane is on me for being on the main channel, there have been some changes to StreamYard, and you can no longer stream on both networks. So I used to do Manners Live on the Manners Minifan network, the true home of Minifan content, and I used to do it on KMS to kind of throw John a bone because I felt sorry for him because his network is so shithouse and the content is so irrelevant. But so you can't do that anymore, and I'm not adding my login information to John's details. I don't trust him. He's a snake. So therefore, this will be the last Manners Live on this network. And from moving forward, if I do Manners Live after Mike and the Minifans, you're going to have to come across to the Manners Minifan network and watch it. John will still be producer. And I joke, John's a pretty good guy below it all, once you seep through all the shit. So, yeah, he's still going to be working on the show. But, yes, this will be the last time it'll be on this network. Then it'll be solely on the Manners Minifan network. And it actually gives me good opportunity now to shout out the Manners Minifan network. If you're watching this on the Kirk Minahan main show channel, the Manners Minifan network is where it is happening. It's the home of Kane's Corner. Need I say more? I mean, I could just stop there and that would be enough of a reason to go and sign up for the Manners Minifan network. But not only that, it's also the home of 3 Up, 3 Down, another Kane show. So you got 2 from 2, and you've got the Aussie Minifan show on the Manners Minifan network. So there's a lot of great content on there. So moving forward, make sure if you haven't already done it, subscribe to the Manners Minifan network. All right, I'm coming to you at the end of a huge week, another great week of shows, lots happening. Where do we start? Let's start with Kane's week. I think it has been a real victory for the Caniacs. If you're on the Kane train, toot toot, you are on the way now because Kane's stock is up. His stock is flying. I mean, he had a very good appearance on Monday. Then a great phone call when he called in and absolutely destroyed Pat Ford. I mean, it was just an absolute walkover. Kane just leveled Pat Ford and then ended the week on a high for Kane with Kirk saying he likes him, lots of compliments. So if you're a Kane fan, then you have been rewarded for your loyalty because Kane is on fire. I thought one of the funniest bits was when he said supposedly, and Kirk corrected him. And Kirk is a real dickhead when it comes to that stuff, correcting people. And Kane just said to him, "Do you get tired of correcting people?" It was a great line, great moment for the Kane fans. As I said, his phone call was excellent. And he started off a bit of this drama with Pat Ford's wife, alleged wife. I think it is his wife. Surprisingly, I think Pat is married to Elsa, and it is the same female in the photos that she has on a Twitter profile. I was convinced it was a burner, but it's not. So miracles do happen. People like Pat Ford do find their lobster, so to speak. But I mean, it started with someone giving Kane some information that Pat Ford's wife is down on the show, which I think Kirk laid it out is probably true. Pat Ford has probably let something slip in a group chat, and Don or whoever has extrapolated from that she doesn't like the show, and it's got back to Kane. But then Pat Ford absolutely lost his mind. He did the typical Minifan where he freaked out and he starts blowing up at Kane, and then he gets in the main show and he's like, "Oh no, I was just joking. I didn't mean it." He even tried to pull that with me that he didn't mean it. There is no doubt Pat Ford was pissed off about it. And I don't, and he was completely exposed because when he went in on the main show, and it was my booking, he just played this pathetic act of not being there to fight, and then Kane's call just destroyed him. As I said, I thought Pat Ford's appearance was pretty bad. Like, it was a great show. It was a 10 out of 10 show. But I think if you're looking at number of words spoken on a show, I think Pat Ford's appearance would come down in the lowest of the low of third chairs. Like, I think Pat Ford said about 25 words all show. He actually went the longest, I think, of any third chair without saying a word. I think it was like 25 minutes into the show that before Pat Ford said something. I've done a handoff to the producers now that I'm not doing the third chair bookings after this week, and I've recommended that Pat Ford be a once every 3 month guy. I've sort of divided it up into people who I think should be in once a month, and then people who I think should be in every 3 months. Actually, I will go through who I think should be in monthly. So I think Ted should be in monthly. I think Cinema should be in monthly. I think John and Warren should be in monthly, although he's going in on Monday, so I hope he doesn't let me down. I think Montante should be in at least monthly. Mama Kay should be in monthly. Kane should be in monthly. Danny and Bill Rickard could make a case for him being in monthly, at least until he gets a job. And I'd love to see Mick in there monthly because obviously he brings the fire, even though he's a crazy little lunatic. Then once every 3 months, I've got Pat Ford. So once every 3 to 6 months, I've got Pat Ford, Tim Ridgeolds, Steve Robinson, Mutt, and Tim and Canton. So they're the guys I think should be once every 3 to 6 months. As I said, Pat Ford, Tim, Steve, Mutt, and Tim and Canton. So that's my recommendations to the committee, the producers. But yeah, look, I thought Monday and Wednesday shows were 10 out of 10 shows. Just brilliant. They had the phone calls on Wednesday's show. Mick called in, Kane called in, all of Ryan Whitney called in. So you had just an incredible start to the week. And, I'm sorry, but Kane gets the juice, gets things moving. I mean, Kane going in there and just sprinkling in that shit about Pat Ford's wife got the week bubbling off. And so inspired booking by myself, inspired performance, 2 10 out of 10 shows. And then, Mutt brought it home with a dead shit performance on Thursday. I mean, that fucking loser is an absolute piece of shit. I'm so pissed off at Mutt. He cannot do anything right. He's got the audacity to criticize me. My output would shit all over yours, Mutt. I do way more than you do, and you've got the audacity to criticize me for arm waving. What the fuck are you talking about? Piece of shit, but also boring. So apart from me not liking Mutt, because he is, Mutt is the type of person, when he was at EEI, he would shit on everyone below him, Rob Bradford, all the little underlings, he would love to shit on them. And now he's at the bottom of the bottom. He's looking at getting a job for $15 an hour. As Kirk said, his daughter is getting paid $10 an hour more than Mutt. I mean, how embarrassing for one Michael Manansky that he's thinking of taking a job for $15 an hour doing data entry. I mean, what a fall for this guy. And that is karma, because he used to step all over everybody. He used to make fun of everybody that was lower down the pole than him. And now, and then he slid down the pole. He cannot hack it. And we are just seeing this loser completely implode. For him to say I'm doing arm waving, I've been doing shows for the Kirk Minahan network in its various forms for 5 years. 5 years, hundreds of shows. Do something like that, you fucking idiot. Have some output. you fucking loser. Honestly, the fact that he would criticize me, he does one shitty fucking newsletter once a week that makes $0, and he's got the hide to say that I'm arm waving and that my content is no good. Fuck you, Mutt. So just, and also just, it's played out. I'm sorry, the whole Mutt getting a job thing is played out. He's not good on the show anymore. He's stale because you just you're getting like a Gus in there now, like this loser who can't do anything. And I think Gus is doing better than Mutt. But rewind to what Gus was like before his career took off at Amazon. You just Mutt's turning into a Gus, just a loser who sits around all day with nothing to do, has no output, and brings zero to the show. So I'm sick of Mutt. Just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Now, John, jump in. Are we going to take calls soon? Because I think, well, don't kick me out. But anyway, my producer jumped from Scranton, everybody. Are we going to turn the phone lines on?
Yeah, we're good. Phone lines are open. Right. Let me get the little rolling thing.
Okay, there's no chance these are going to work, listeners, but try anybody.
It's going to work.
They're not going to work. They've never worked. I just say we're taking phone calls to troll everybody. So while we're waiting for calls to come in, I would like to say I have some concerns about Justin Trudell. I'm really worried about him. He hasn't been the same since Mick went at him. He looks unhinged. His performance as producer is diminished. He's lacking in confidence. He looks unhealthy. And I think you've got a combination of things with Justin. Mick has destroyed him. And also, I don't think Justin focuses enough on the show when it's the Patriots season. I think Justin spends too much time with his therapist and talking about the Patriots, and then he goes to the Patriots on the weekend and he gets shit-faced and then drives home. I don't think Justin is having a good run at the moment. I'm worried about his mental health. I think you're seeing it. You're seeing these massive spots on his face as a result of the stress he's under. He was sick this week. Now Bubba's sick. I'm really worried about him. And this is where I think it's a real mistake having someone like Dave Cullinane there, because Justin at this stage needs support. He needs nurturing, because we don't want to lose the big fella. There's no one better for the show than Justin. He's been there since the beginning, but I'm worried that he's on the brink of crashing. And it's not up to Kirk to baby Justin or mollycoddle him. It's not. He's made it clear from the beginning of KMS that's not going to be his role. So I just hope someone can get to Justin, put their arm around the big fella and get him back to what he used to be, because he's lost confidence. And I think it's a number of factors. Cullinane coming back has emasculated him. Mick's emasculated him. The Patriots season is underway, so he's very focused on their performance. Bubba's sick. He just looks unhealthy as well. I mean, there's so many things about Justin that concern me, but we can't lose him because he really cares about the show, even though he's putting in a piss poor performance as producer at the moment. He actually cares, unlike Cullinane, who mildly cares. So anyway, are you worried about Justin, John?
No, thoughts and prayers to Bubba in our hearts, in our minds.
Yeah. And on Mike and the Minifans last night, Drew was very critical of Kirk, joking about Bubba dying over the weekend, which I kind of get where Drew's coming from. I think it's probably a little too soon to joke about something like that while they've just gone into hospital for pneumonia. But yeah, Drew, so for those that didn't see it, because I know most of you have stopped watching Mike and the Minifans, there was this guy called Drew, sort of, who looked like he'd come out of the Grateful Dead or something. And he had Drew the Troll as his name. And he actually saved the show, because you had Fax, again, just putting people to sleep. You had PRC, who is lovely, but he will never say a controversial thing. You had Brandon, who was let out of some home for the night. And then you had Drew actually with some hot takes. So, I thought Drew was a bit of a find.
There you go. New people. That's what people ask for. That's what we give you.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a sort of bitter guy, a true troll, I would say, like a true hater.
That's good. Yeah, it was all two new guys. Fax said he loved having them on. A lot of Fax criticism, and I love it. I love Fax criticism. He's a good host, even if he makes people mad. If he makes people mad, even better.
Yeah, Fax is so boring. It's unbelievable. Like I really like Fax, but he can just talk and talk and talk, and it is just nothing, just absolute nonsense. Just
Hail Milk.
like he can just fill air, which he might actually be perfect for commercial radio now. We have
Yeah.
to fill hours, and I'm not joking. I'm thinking of like getting him to read a book and record it and send it to me so I can go to sleep.
Some Audible.
Like, well, yeah, I've been having trouble sleeping recently, and
Mhm.
I would think listening to Fax read a book, like we could just send him like some manual or some history book, and he just reads a couple of chapters.
Yeah.
And actually, we could distribute it among the Minifans. It might cure the whole group's insomnia.
I had no internet or shit last night, so I went to bed with the book playing. Devil's Chessboard. Very good book. But it's a great way to go to sleep. And I think Fax could excel at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into some more stuff, I can see the calls aren't coming through.
No.
Probably broken.
Not.
Can I just ask you, it was mentioned during the week on the main show that Kirk and people have been in contact with you about the case and stuff. Where are those discussions at?
Has been in contact about that. Me and Justin had a call about the Minifans Across America or whatever the fuck it's going to be called. So very early stages, but I'm happy where we are. Like the production wise. So here's how I laid it out to Justin. I was like, production wise, it depends on if Barstool is going to have anything to do with it or if not. But like if it comes down to it all being on us getting it done, we could easily do that. If it's Barstool involved, we could easily do that. I just need to know which, so that kind of stuff. It's more or less like I want to have one meeting with Kirk and he just tells me yes and no to fucking things. And that's all I need. And we could get it done.
Yeah. If you were to sort of give a percentage grade, do you think it will happen or not? Like, what's your percentage?
I've been at the old 60% on it. I'm going to make sure it's ready to go if it does happen. But if things go according to what I think is going to happen, it's going to get right out the park. Nothing's going to happen. But it will be ready to go if need be.
Okay. And Kirk said it would be more likely towards the end of next year now, rather than around springtime.
I think the second you get a car sponsor, this thing happens. So, but that's what I told Justin is our number one priority right now. It's finding a car sponsor. So, like I said, I have all my fucking ducks in order, but if it happens, it happens. I would love for it to happen, and it's not that big of a production. Like it really isn't. Like as long as, I need these yes and no answers, and then we're good. Like when we get to a spot, maybe Barstool's at those parts, and they could make a great production out of that, But as for the in between stuff, there's a game plan.
Okay, so it's probably not going to happen. But let's hope it does. Yeah,
I would love for it. I think it would be great, but it's if Kirk wants to do it or not.
Kirk's already qualifying things, and I think the case is more important. Obviously, it seems like he has some interest from streaming services and stuff. I mean, what information have you been given about the case?
Well, when he talked to me about the Mick getting the job and then Mick turning it down, and then Mick potentially being back and all that stuff. But when he called me about that, he talked to me about case stuff, but that was just doing like video work and stuff for the next one, which I would love to like gladly do, and like getting the old ones up on video. So just like even at whatever type of video, because it's so easy to do like documentary type. You have a caller documentary type of video though. You just fucking case video and stuff like that. Do you want to take this caller?
Yeah, let's take the call.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello, caller.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Oh, wow. Sorry, stop press. It worked first time, everybody. Wow. Hallelujah.
Let's talk about your bookings. Shall we talk about your bookings?
Yes.
Okay, 2 questions. One, who did you try to book that wasn't able to make it in studio?
Kevin from Bristol. I mean, there's a few people. Freddie Lynn. There's a few people out of state that can't make it. Why?
Well, I think that Mama K was the only new person that you booked.
So I never said I was going to book new people. So don't start fucking putting words in my mouth. I never took the job and said, I'm going to start looking for talent. In fact, my theory about the third chair bookings, you smart ass, is you actually need regular talent going in and out of there that actually are good on microphone. You can't have all these losers that have nothing to say. So you want to find, a handful of Minifans between 10 to 20 that you can rely on to deliver when they go in there. I never said I was going to be looking for the Minifans for new talent. I mean, who do you think you are questioning my bookings? And the fact is, Timothy Fax is new. No one reached out to Ted Sellers to get his roster before I did. My bookings have been exceptional. Kane's third appearance was on fire. So next question, fuckhead.
There he is. He's back. We got him back, folks.
Holy
Thoughts
shit.
on the interaction between Sneaks and Mama K? It would appear that Sneaks told Mama K he would put her feet in a lotion tsunami. Do you know what that is? And thoughts on Sneaks' foot fetish?
Well, that would be a power KMS couple if Sneaks and Mama K got together. Can you imagine? You've got the queen of the middle ladies and the king of the trolls together. That would be a match made in heaven. I only saw bits of that interaction overnight. Clearly, Mama K is a very attractive woman, and there would be, I would say, a number of Minifans that would be pleasuring themselves to pictures of her feet, her appearance on the show. So I imagine Sneakers is no different.
Good answer. He dropped. Call's working for his time now. Shout out me. It only took 3 weeks of fixing it, but
not 3 weeks. I don't know how long have you been doing this show? 3 years?
Yeah.
All right. I want to bring up a friend of the show. He was on Minifandom. I'm talking about Max. Max disappeared for a while. And for some reason, I'm friends with Max on Instagram. I've got weirdly somehow connected with him on Instagram. So Max is always, I'm always keeping an eye on Max, this rich boy from Boston, living the life, having a great time. He destroyed Mutt on Friday's call-in show, and Kirk lapped it up. And it was a great end to the week. Just to
great call-in show.
Absolutely. To see Max, of all people, just kill Mutt. And I'm so glad Kirk took the ball and ran with it. And Max made some good points about how Mutt lets down his family. And, I'm pretty sure the only reason Carter's lost some weight is because there's not enough money anymore to feed him the amount of food he used to eat. So obviously then he's going to lose weight. And I'm glad he's lost some weight. But fuck you, Mutt. Honestly, you fucking prick. You got no sense of humor. Sit on this. Fucking little monkey.
Yeah, well, you've been down on Mutt. Well, he's real down on you.
I honestly hate him. I honestly hate him now. Because what I can't stand is this better than attitude. And he's just a piece of shit nobody. He's the last person who should have a better than attitude. And what makes me even more annoyed is I thought he was probably a decent guy. That's what annoyed me is he fooled me. He fooled me for years thinking this. It's like Kirk says, Mike comes across on air as a nice guy, but off air he's an absolute piece of shit asshole. Kirk is a fucking lunatic asshole on air. Off air is the sweetest, loveliest, most welcoming man you can ever meet. It's just incredible, the contrast. All right, call
781. Hey boys, Freddie Lynn here.
Hey man.
Freddie, hello.
We still talking about billionaire Max?
Maximilian
was born into a billionaire family that runs the biggest electric company in New England.
It's insane.
Yes, we are.
Now, he had some good points about Mutt. I agree with you, Manners. Manners, I wanted to thank you for your support and your kind words and compliments on the launch of Fireside Chats with Freddie. I also wanted to ask you, your lone soldier Kane really went off the rails, went live, only became relevant because he went live when we went live. Do you need to apologize for Kane, or what do you think?
So So, Freddie, thank you for the call and congratulations on Fireside Chat. I'd like to point out a couple of things just to make sure we've got all the facts correct. Fireside Chat is not a live show. So, you may have broadcast it live, but it was pre-recorded. So, it's not, it's not a live show that needs to be watched live, so to speak, which is fine. Still a very good product. And, the dumb idiot sitting on the screen with me, John from Scranton, has made it very clear while running multiple networks that he has no problem going live while another show's on. He will produce a show and then go live while that show is airing on another channel. So, Freddie, I would say you have to look to the top. I tried when I was in charge to stop that shenanigans.
The difference here is that Kane only went live because he saw my show going on a different network that he called me disloyal for. That was the only reason he went live at that time.
He's right. He's right. You were disloyal. You made a mistake going on John's network. Obviously, if you'd gone on my network, Kane wouldn't have gone live at the same time. So, I would say you need to apologize to me and Kane for your decision. And you know what you're going to do? We're just going to go live every time you do a show now. So we're just going to go live every time you do a show. I'm just going to go live. Even if I can't do a show, I'll just turn my camera on, go live and fucking.
There's no disloyalty here. I had been on John's Meeting of the Minds 15 times before I ever went on a show on Mentor's Network. There's no disloyalty.
I would say that was loyalty to me.
It was particularly disloyal, just a bad decision. Poor decision. And
no, it's just no. It's not a bad decision. It's just Kane is too dumb to realize that he's
why are you against choice for the Minifans? Like, why can't the Minifans choose what they want to watch? And guess what, Freddie? When yours finishes, it doesn't just disappear and nobody can go back and watch it. So I just think you're taking this far too seriously.
Great show, though.
No, I'm chill.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else, Freddie? I got another one.
But it's well worth watching. I mean, I think it's been a great week for Minifan content. Fireside Chat, Mike and the Minifans was, a C+, which is about as good as it gets for that show now. Men's Live Saturday night. Does it get any better than this? Probably not.
R.I.P. the
Yeah, no, I think I agree. Manners. Let me I'll end with this. I think Fireside Chat is like a wave coming through the ocean, taking over Mike and the Minifans. It's better. It's a better show. It's going to get better ratings. It's going to get better guests. And this week we're going to tier rank Tater Tots. So watch out.
Fucking go.
I got to say, I've heard from a number of Minifans that were thinking of going on Mike and the Minifans, but have decided not to go and to go on Fireside Chat instead. Apparently, Freddie has told people, save your booking, save your bullets for Fireside Chat. So I think it's good. I think it's good to have a healthy rivalry within John's network.
315. I love rivalry.
315. Hi.
Meadows, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Here to rant about how horrible Mutt is. We've all heard it and said it before. He sucks. He's got no life, no job. Do you think he should just get on heroin? Because at least then, instead of wasting money on his bets, he'll be putting it towards something that'll make him happy.
Well, and there's every chance he ODs, which is a win-win.
His family will win, and maybe he's got some life insurance we don't know about.
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't thought of that, but John probably could help him out getting some. It
would make good content watching the downfall while he gets hooked and slowly cripples himself even more and becomes more puny.
Yeah. And you can imagine he'd keep doing a Timothy Fax and he'd just fall asleep in the chair when he's in studio because he'd be so smacked down. It'd be Timothy Fax all over again.
It would be nice to have a real heroin addict in there so that people would stop calling me one because it's the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, don't you think Mutt should be doing more?
He does. That's not a bad point.
What was the point?
Also, one other quick question.
Go on.
Has anyone put together a list of other terrible jobs that you can make $15 an hour doing?
I'm sure it's just the bottom of the bottom. And I don't want to judge people because we've got people like Jay watching who would love to get paid $15 an hour.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure you could make more greeting people at Walmart.
Well, it was said on the show that I think, people that stand outside with those signs on them just waving at traffic get paid more than $15 an hour.
Probably.
He doesn't have the coordination.
But I also think, just from a show perspective, Mutt isn't bringing anything new to KMS. Like he's now just mailing it in, turns up late. He doesn't want to joke around. He's clearly getting pressure at home to get a job. I mean, I think it would be better for the show to just have a break from Mutt for a few months, see what he can do without Kirk.
Yeah, it's not a bad thought. But honestly, I think Mutt he wants it, but he doesn't. He's afraid. Why?
No, I think people have accurately nailed it in the past that he just wants to get back to radio because no sane person would turn their back on Dave Portnoy. And I am actually really enjoying it. I hope you're right. I hope Mutt does pick up heroin. I hope he just fucking shoots himself into the ground, literally, and it's all over.
Mutt has the poison of pride. Like he thinks he wants to build something of his own when he has Kirk, who could just daddy give him something, and he's afraid to take that. That's the only thing he's afraid to take. I wouldn't say he's afraid of the limelight. He's afraid to take something from Kirk, which is the dumbest, because that's poison pride. That's pride for you. It's dumb.
He needs a hot dose would be great. If Mutt had a hot dose and was gone, fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Hot shots end it all.
You put that in that, just so you know, caller. Yeah. Anything else, buddy?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Bobby out.
Bobby out.
Thank you, Bobby.
Bobby.
I watched the Unnamed show this week, and that was just a terrible show. Terrible episode of the Unnamed show. And you could tell it was going to happen because Kirk on KMS was outlining how annoyed he was at Portnoy. And so you could sort of tell that Kirk was going to go in there and just needle Portnoy about stuff all show. And the fact that he started needling about the surviving stuff with spoilers was just perfect Kirk madness. And I actually think Kirk has a really good point about this. The week before, when they brought up the Aaron Hernandez thing, as Kirk said, Portnoy just walked over it and brought up the Penguin 30 seconds later. There is no world where if Portnoy is on a TV show, it is the biggest thing at Barstool for 2 weeks. And the fact that Portnoy just didn't want to talk about it just shows me that, you've got these three egos just, they need some glue to get these egos to actually sort of bump together. Like that show needs a host, because you've got Kirk's not a host. He can host, but he's a star. Portnoy's a star.
Like a straight guy.
They need someone to make them clash a bit.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's just egos just brushing up against each other, and very rarely does it result in good content. Yeah. Again, this week it was three guys who were too cool to prepare any content. I don't think Whitney is needed on that show. I think you could replace Whitney with a host and it would be a really good show, or just add a fourth. And because Whitney doesn't say much anyway, he's a bit like Pat Ford on the main show, just says a few words here and there. But yeah, pretty pathetic. And Portnoy, as I said, Portnoy just completely disregarding that Aaron Hernandez stuff. I mean, surely that's good for Barstool. If you've got one of your key personalities being portrayed on a big show, you want to promote that, because it's going to bring, it's just going to bring more plaudits to Barstool, more attention, more stories. So
he's in a weird mental space. That whole Jersey Jerry thing is fucked. Like him not letting him go on Mr. Beast thing is fucked. And for this weird golf idea that he has, that's terrible. Like he just got alphaed by Mr. Beast, and like now he's making everyone else suffer for it. It's weird.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's it. True. That is very true. Since the whole Brianna chicken fry thing too, he's just obsessed with getting clicks from that world. What else? Mick watch. Well, big week for the Mick Maniacs. So he obviously released a podcast at the beginning of the week, shitting all over Justin. He then aired a golf game. I only watched bits of it, but he played some golf. I don't know if he can play golf. I only watched a couple of shots. And then he released a BAP with cousin Christian. So if you're a Mick maniac, it was a big week. And I think it's interesting because I think most Minifans would be on Justin's side. I think most Minifans know that for some reason, little Mick turned on Justin. There's no sense to it, and it seems wrong. And Justin's the victim here. But in a way, Mick's winning because Justin is falling apart. And Mick is somehow holding it together. Even though he's a crazy little frog, the crazy little gremlin, he's holding it together while Justin can't hack the pressure. Like, it's amazing.
The further away he is from the studio, the better he is on the show.
Yes, it's true. He's actually better when he's just in the atmosphere. Yeah,
like I was there. That episode where he came storming in and Clemmer was there. I was producing that episode. That was an insane day. That was an insane day. Like he just came storming in. Remember, Clemmer was just awkwardly standing behind him and shit. It was the weirdest day in the world.
Yeah. Oh, very weird. It's a bit like me. He's probably better not on the main show. I was listening. Funny thing happened. I was listening to his Beyond Average podcast. He just started saying manners over and over again. but he was talking about someone else. I'm so in his head. And then he goes, "Oh, sorry, I was thinking about."
I'm just a Mick fan. Mick and Mick was like my side, like B partner when every time I had to go in for producer search, and he crushed it every time. Like he was more prepared than I was. So
I do think Mick has lost some credibility with the Minifans in terms of it's hard to take anything he does seriously now. Like when he gets angry at somebody, it's hard to take it seriously. It is just a bit
it's hard to take an argument in when you're Mick against Justin and have an actual fight in studio because Justin's 6'3" in a monster. I'll tell you what. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
No, I'm sorry. Justin is not very physically intimidating. Like I can never imagine Justin going in and punching Mick because he said something to him on air.
You ever see him walk Kirk around for fucking when he's doing handshake? That's intimidating Justin. Remember that fucking story where Justin just tackled that guy outside of Best Buy or something? That's intimidating Justin. Justin has that fucking strength in him, dude.
I don't think that's the reason Mick didn't say anything when he went there. The fact is Mick doesn't have anything to back up his hate for Justin. He was just looking for attention. Probably self-sabotage. I think when you talk about Mutt and talk about him not having confidence, I think there is an element to Mick of self-sabotage. I also think
sabotage does numbers though.
Yeah. No, Mick does numbers because he's an antagonist, but yeah, so it's been a good week for the Mick Maniacs, but I'm worried about Justin. What about Back? Back was okay. I mean,
Cousin Christian and Mick being together is the meta.
Yeah.
I love those.
Of course, you're going to say you love him. You say that about everybody. Yeah, as I said, I enjoy Mick, but you could have scripted the way this would all go. He'd released that podcast shitting all over Justin, and okay, some of his insults were funny, where he said stuff about Bubba Trudell and all that stuff. He's got a few one-liners in him, Mick. There's no doubt about it. But I think he's lost credibility
on the show. But like I'm saying, he's an atmosphere guy. As long as he's in the world, I think the show benefits from it.
Yeah, I got a few more points I want to get through. Just quickly, R.I.P. Larry Johnson. I actually did used to listen to Mustard and Johnson because I used to have like Bradfo on and stuff. So I used to listen to those segments. So R.I.P. Larry Johnson. We are getting old. God, I've been listening to stuff from EI since 2012 probably. And so we're going on 12 years of listening to Boston-centric content. And now some of these people are dying off. Like I've sort of lived through all of Mutt's career, and now it's at an end. I've seen the end of Larry Johnson's life. And anyway,
not my guy Glenn Ordway. He's stronger than Bull.
That's it. Big fan.
Stronger than Bull.
I'll never forget when Glenn Ordway just had to sandwich in my name to his appearance. Do you remember? He had to mention me, which is good because mutual admiration. Also, have seen the end of Jerry Callahan's voice, so that's good too.
Yeah, that's R.I.P. that voice, dude.
Yeah,
it's bad.
I just want to weigh in on this controversial, and I was upset the way Mutt went up against my guy, Blind Mike. I do not think there's anything wrong with sending messages or email at 4 a.m. I do think sending text messages at 4 a.m. is a little worse than sending an email. But I 100% agree with Mike. And I think Mike's talking about Twitter DMs as well, which you can send at any time.
Yes.
Like, you know, as somebody who lives in a, you know, in a global world, like a,
You're
you know, world full of
message at that time.
Well, you know, in a world with globalization, time differences are, you know, so I just think there are certain things. Maybe sometimes I will, when I have employees, for example, I might not send them emails on Sunday. I might write emails on Sunday and I might set them to go on Monday morning at 8 a.m. But I just do that out of respect to the employees' day off and stuff.
That's bullshit.
I probably wouldn't text them.
Time. They don't have to read the email. Fuck
exactly.
That.
Oh yeah, but it's not a hard and fast rule. Like I think it's up to you. If you don't want to get messages or emails, you don't go into your email app.
I do most of my work at that time. So like you don't send a text message at that time, but I do then go to I'll send like a Facebook DM at that time, because if I don't send it then I won't remember it the next day. But let's take it to, that's my move though. You take it to a social media DM and then it's okay, because you could check that whenever in the morning.
Yeah.
You know?
So I don't think it's psychopathic at all what Blind Mike did. I don't even think he has to say reply when you can, because you know, I think it's anyway. I just thought, you know, terrible take from Mutt as usual, just a Neanderthal take from a Neanderthal. All right, let's keep going.
Brutal.
I just want to confirm some things. I want to quell some rumors. So I have booked my remaining bookings on Monday. John and Warren is going in, and he has a lot of ground to make up for the drips in the office. Obviously, pretty poor appearance by Practice Pat, but John can try and lift things up. And then Tuesday, I have booked, and I've booked the Turkey of the Year. Now, there's been some criticism for Steve. Steve from Gloucester is booked as the Turkey of the Year. I don't know if he's watching. He's my Turkey of the Year. He's a sensitive fat prick. He cannot take it. You can see it now in Twitter. He's replying to everybody. He wants everybody to like him. Steve, you're insane. You're a dummy. And you are coming in as the Turkey of the Year. You started the year dancing with that, what's her name? The blonde chick from Barstool. That was this year, wasn't it? He was dancing on stage with her in March. And by the end of the year, you're a nobody. And you know, you are coming in as my big, fat, dumb Turkey of the Year. And I just want to make that very clear to everybody. Gobble, gobble, gobble. That's what he's there for. Gobble. And you're coming in a fat suit, a big, fat turkey suit. And then BioDude has been booked as well.
Oh, really?
Now, I do not know BioDude. But see, I do my research. He used to do a show on the network. I used to watch it, so I know he can string a couple of sentences together. He's going in because I don't want to leave it till after my booking period is over, because the other guys will forget about him. So he's going in as well as Steve from Gloucester, and nothing's been confirmed. I'm not given who's in, Mike or Mutt. There's only 2 shows this week. Maybe, you know, Mutt's got stuff to do for Thanksgiving. Maybe Blind Mike's got to send some text messages, and it'll just be Steve and BioDude. But BioDude's going in. As I said, he can have Dave Cullinane's chair, or they've done it before. They can put an extra spot there, and let's have some fun before Thanksgiving. You know, it's the holidays. Let's, you know, celebrate Steve being the Turkey of the Year. Let's meet BioDude. If BioDude's really good in his appearance, then guess what? He can go back in again, and maybe he won't have someone else with him. But, you know, this is a week that is going to be a win for the fans. I mean, the last 3 weeks have been a force de resistance of third chair bookings. The show has been on fire, and it's because I had a plan, I've executed, and, you know, I'm really, really happy with the way it's gone. And it is going to finish on a high. You know, I think this will probably be Steve from Gloucester's last appearance on the show. As I said, he's going in, Turkey of the Year. Let's make fun of him. I hope Kirk tears him to shreds, and we can move on, because even you can see him on Twitter. He's insane, but it's funny. And we'll see what BioDude can offer. And maybe he can sit in, as I said, in the studio.
It's going to be a home run. It's going to be big as the 3rd chair. I would put Mike with him.
Yep. We'll see. So it'll be Mike, Steve, and BioDude.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Just turn Cullinane's mic off. Enough of Cullinane. We've had enough of him. We can have a Cullinane break for a show.
The red laser treatment. Kirk, you ever anything about this red laser treatment today? Had me rolling laughing. Red light treatment or whatever. You got to call her 777.
Yeah, let's take some calls.
Go ahead, buddy.
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Good, thank you.
Manners, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Manners, did I just hear you say that I have no credibility?
Who's this?
This is beyond average Mick Manners.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have any credibility because your takes are fake. This bit with Justin was fake. I like it. You're a big guy.
In the country.
What was that?
That's true. He did break a huge story.
I do not think getting a rumor.
I just broke the biggest story in the country.
Had so much credibility.
Okay, well, I
Yeah,
guess
you forgot about it, man. You forgot about it.
I guess from a hockey.
What is he talking about?
Look at him. He forgot.
No, but we're talking about credibility as a reporter, and like I don't think overhearing someone in a bar is actually going to give you credibility.
Can you just give me credit for a minute? Can you just congratulate me and give me credit for God's sake?
Good job.
Congratulations on that. That was part of, I said you had a good week, and I didn't mention that implicitly.
He did say that.
I'm a sports guy. I've broken stories before on cricket. I know what it's like. Good on you. You heard something, you acted on it. Well done.
I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, great week for
All right.
All right,
So
buddy.
Always great to see you.
Nick, can you go in once a month?
What's up?
Can you go in once a month to KMS? That's all I'm asking.
I like that.
That's fine. I thought you just said 2 minutes ago too. I shouldn't be in there at all. You're confusing me.
I'm not sure I said that. I might have, but I don't mean that. I think I was saying that about someone else. I read out at the top that you're a once a month guy. In my opinion, go in there once a month, have some fun.
Yeah,
and
I like that. I like that strategy, Mick.
Yeah.
I want this. I'll just respond to this and say I go in when I am asked to go in.
It's a good answer.
Okay. Great.
Good answer.
Perfect.
Love you, buddy.
Take it easy, boys.
Peace.
Thanks, buddy. Sycophant.
He got you there. I forgot about Mick breaking the national story.
Yeah, but we're talking about credibility when it comes to KMS. Like,
you were talking about with the Minifans because
I think we're talking about like Mick overheard something at a bar, which is
that
good.
Doesn't matter. That's
no, but it's not like he has some great source that he's going to keep getting stories from.
I would say a bar.
And in fact, from a pure journalistic point of view, he's kind of breaking some, like, you shouldn't be really reporting that yourself. Like normally
you give that to a reporter and then they do your background checks. Yeah.
It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's not ethical, but
I don't think I would. Okay. So we'll say he's more of a whistleblower. He's a whistleblower.
Yeah. So for example, I had a cricketer who I report on come into my cafe with his divorce lawyer. So I knew he was getting divorced, and there was some other stories.
How'd you know the divorce lawyer?
Because he used to come into my cafe.
Okay.
So, but it's kind of unethical of me then to report that. There was another angle to it that I'm not going to go into it, but anyway, well done, Mick. Thanks for calling in.
That's like seeing the guy in the airport, like thinking he got traded from one team to the other, kind of a deal.
Yes. Yeah.
You're like, yes. Okay.
All right. So we've got Baidu going in. I mean, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was the Minifan of the year. And maybe if you've got any questions, put them in the chat now. My producer will bring them up. So that's right. If you can't call in, but you've got some questions, put them in the chat. And before I get into the Minifan of you, just a reminder, this will be the last appearance of Manners Live on the main Kirk Minahan Show network. Please subscribe to the Manners Minifan network. You can't restream on both networks at the same time now. So in future, you'll have to find Manners Live on the Manners Minifan network. And so please go and subscribe. The home of Kane. Need I say more? Yeah.
when you were naming the lineup before and you're like home of Kane's corner, and then you're like, and 3 up, 3 down, another Kane product. You didn't even space them out.
But yeah, obviously the Aussie Minifan show is going great guns. Kirk's a big fan, big fan.
Yeah,
and again, those dog shit fucking producers, Cullinane and Justin, never playing any interesting takes. Like Drew said some stuff on Mike and the Minifans that should be played on the main show on Monday. Drew said some stuff calling out Kirk, and there's been a ton of shit on the networks over the last few weeks that should be on the main show. They had good talking points. What?
It's a King Cully era. We're back to that.
Yeah, we're back to that. But I'm blaming Justin now. He's the main producer. He's got to get his head out of the Patriots' ass and start focusing on KMS again.
Kirk does a better job of talking about, Kane than anybody. You know what I mean? Like Kirk's obsessed with Kane. So he's just going to watch it no matter what. Yeah.
All right. So just quickly running through the Minifan of the year. I'd like to get some updated odds. Kirk said he's going to announce it on December 16th. Gus endorsed himself. I see Turtle Boy endorsed himself. Shark Minahan doing great work. Blind Mike Sneakers has endorsed Gus. Wow, big call. Montantes has nominated anyone but John from Scranton. Well, that was a bit of a shot.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to get it now?
It's already in the bag. That's all. Mikey
Mike? No. See, Mikey Grab Bags, his contribution has been very, very minuscule.
Yeah, I think he's a heavy favorite.
I think you cannot give it to someone for one song. Like that's crazy.
No, he's great on Twitter. Like he is very good on Twitter. Very good.
I don't know. I think he's overrated.
He should be one of the guys running the account with these guys. They're doing such a great job. You should be building that team.
I don't think so. I think Don's having a shit.
Great on there now. I think they do a good job.
Okay. Are there any questions, by the way? Because you got to chat. Yeah. So Mutt's endorsed Mikey Grabbag. Maybe why I'm so against Mikey. And in a turn up, Steve from Gloucester has endorsed Cinema Lords. And that's what I don't understand. And I put this out on Twitter. People saying, why didn't you get Cinema in with Steve? Steve is not a fighter. All right? We've made that very clear. Steve from Gloucester is not a fighter. It would be an absolute fizzer to have them in together. No point putting them in. Absolutely no point.
That's a good point.
That's done. Steve's not going in to fight. He's going in as the turkey of the year. Gobble, 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 you fat fuck. Waddle in there. Great and guy. We'll make fun of you, and that'll be it. So I think Mikey Grabbags could be a sneaky make favorite for the Minifan of the year. Probably right. Awesome. I don't know who I want to win. I mean, I said I endorse Be a Man guy. I think Kane. I know he's been removed.
Deserves a shot at it too. He should definitely be in the top 5.
I know he's been removed, but I think Kane's had the best year. I mean, you cannot compare the impact of Kane and Mikey Grabbags. Kane's impact has been 20 times as much as Mikey Grabbags.
Yeah, but then they could use the same thing they use against me for Kane. The network doesn't matter for the show.
No, but you think about when Kane interviewed Mama Kay, that was a huge impact on the main show.
It's true. That's true.
All right. Any questions? I don't think so.
Is it Menner's liver failing or your kidney? I don't know which one.
Good on you, Don.
On the passing of Bubba Trudell. We don't want to answer that.
Don's personality is failing.
You guys are real jerks, Can we just have one fucking serious?
No questions. All right. Play the music. Thanks everybody for tuning into Manners Live. Don't forget to subscribe to the Manners Minifan Network. John, great job producing. You nailed the calls. First time in history you've done it. Thank you very much. Planning to be there in March for the show, the March 1st live show. Don't know where that is, but I'll be there for it. Thanks everybody for watching Manners Live. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Rhett. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Fax. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Braxton. Thank you, RB.
Great.
Thank you, Don the jeweler. I like you, Don. I'm just joking. Good mates. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Beyond Average Mick for the call. Thank you, BBR. Thank you, Clam Diver. Like that. Probably a big fan of Mama Kay.
He wants to be booked.
Thank you, DW. Thank you, everybody for watching. If you want to be booked, hit up Justin and Cullinane. I've been coaching them. I've done a full handover. Hopefully they've learned something from my impressive skills as a show booker. I'm available if you need me to book your show. I'll flick my rate card across. If you're running the Unnamed show, happy to produce that as well.
Honor.
Play the music, everybody. Bye-bye. It's Late Night with Mad Manners. I'm your host. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Manners till midnight. I will be taking your calls. I am also still alive. I haven't been fucked to death by the last. So stick it up your ass, Steve. It's really good to see someone while we're all on lockdown. That's it. It's always sort of been there. The women's game has been ignored. So fucking scared. I mean, look at Steve Robinson. Since he talked about his parents in the first episode, he basically lied since then because he's too afraid. He doesn't have the guts that Kirk has.